So, welcome, Caroline, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks, Ellen. I'm delighted to be here.
So, I just thought we'd have a quick chat today to get to know you a little bit and also to understand a bit more about the Connection program as well. So, I thought maybe people could get to know you a little bit through your story. So, tell us about Connection in your life. How has that helped you to grow?
Wow, big question. I guess initially, and you know this about me because we've known each other for 20 years, but initially it came when I reached a point in my life where I disconnected, I guess, from um, my dreams and my true desires. I was in a job that wasn't really serving me. I was living a life that wasn't really, it was mine, but it didn't feel like the life I wanted to be living. And so initially, what connection brought for me was just just coming out of denial, I guess, just getting really clear on this isn't working for me, this career that I've invested 12 years of my life in isn't working for me, and I need to do something different. So like really connecting with what is it I really want to get out of life. That was a huge thing for me initially, and then over the years, I mean, it's grown and grown even till I would say quite recently with my business. I'd built a business that I love. I now do work that lights me up and I absolutely love to do. But I'd even more recently felt disconnected from that. You know, I was doing a lot of one-to-one coaching and I wasn't feeling connected to my work. I was starting to feel almost that sense of dread I used to feel in my old life, you know, on a Monday morning when it's and I thought this isn't good, you know. So what's happened for me in my life is I think I've got a lot better at recognizing when I've become disconnected, and sometimes it's not always clear what I need to do to reconnect. But it starts with I think acknowledging, okay, something's not working and something's got to change. And I think over my lifetime that's been really important to me. I think a lot of people can slip into, and I did for many years, a kind of space of just not looking at that, you know, really kind of looking in the direction of what's not working and what could possibly change. And I feel like the more I've done it and then the rewards that have come from that, the more that becomes a huge part of my life. And I guess I would describe that as being connected to myself.
And it sounds like from that that connection has a number of aspects. So as you say, connecting to yourself. There also sounded like something about connecting to your hopes and your dreams and the kind of inner part of you. And I'm imagining there's also connection to other people. So what are the elements of connection for you?
So, yeah, absolutely that. There's connection to me, to my truth, and connection to others is a big one. I mean, I cover both of those in the program. And so I call the section about others is called tribe. And so within that, there's, you know, connecting to our romantic partner, connecting to our friends, to our family, to our colleagues, to strangers, you know, to our clients. So that's also been a big thing for me in my life. And then the third element is what I call connecting to source. And by that I mean, and you'll know this as a writer, when I think anyone who's ever done any creative endeavor or it can even be sport, it can be anything where we feel like there's an energy that flows through us that's beyond us. You know, when we sit down and we get lost in a piece of art or in a piece of writing, and we have that sense that it came through us. You know, there's an energy that comes through us that is from another place. And so I explore that also in the program in the module called Source, because that feels like, you know, for some people that's God. For some people they'll describe that as God or spirituality or the universe. I mean, I call it Source because I feel like that's something that's not as controversial for some people. Mm-hmm. And it's also a truth. You know, people talk about being in the zone, you know, getting into the zone. So that again, also, it's a connection to. I guess I would describe it as an energetic connection and also a connection to our passion.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. And what have been, I mean, it sounds like connection has really kind of run through your life, particularly in the last few years since you've made so many changes. So, again, big question. What have been the biggest learnings for you or the biggest takeaways in terms of how connection has positively impacted your life?
Well, I think the one that comes straight to mind, and it's the one that just kept coming up as I built the program, is awareness. It's this idea of if I'm fully aware of what's going on with me and in my life, then there's a window there for change or transformation. And so that's been a big one, to notice when I've started to avoid being aware. And we all do it. There's a million ways that we can numb out, whether that's, and I've gone from, more extreme ones like, getting drunk at the weekend to now, maybe I'll turn to comfort food or too many episodes of my favorite TV show. But we all have ways of kind of numbing out, and not dealing with the uncomfortable feelings that arise. And so for me, I think probably the biggest learning in this journey around connection is the importance of my awareness, my conscious awareness of what I'm feeling, what's going on in my life, and facing that, with a level of acceptance and compassion. Because sometimes we can do the awareness piece and then beat ourselves up for whatever we find, So it's super important that there's a level of acceptance of what is, and also that compassion. I think that's like the Holy Trinity for me, those three: awareness, acceptance, and compassion. Because without all of them, one on its own wouldn't work. So I would say they're the big learnings, and just to kind of live my life that way. And sometimes, we all do it. I still want to just not, deal with that for today. I want to, have a nap or watch my favorite show.
And sometimes I think that can be self-care, to give yourself a break from the tough situation and face it when you feel stronger and you have had that sleep.
Exactly.
Definitely. And then finally, so to kind of finish us off, what's a tip that you can give people to help them make some kind of connection to themselves today?
Okay. I think the big one for me would be journaling. I think whenever I'm feeling disconnected, I don't know how I feel, and I don't know what's really going on with me. Maybe I just feel grouchy or grumpy or, just off. Sometimes we just feel off. If I grab a piece of paper or my journal and I'll write down, how am I feeling? How do I feel today? Or what do I want? They're two of my favorites. Because I know if I'm feeling off, there's either some kind of feeling that's bothering me that I haven't fully explored, or there's something that I want, some unmet need or desire that needs to be unearthed. And so I would say, if you can sit and write on either of those questions today, it's going to surprise you. I think, it surprised me anyway when I started doing the morning pages, which I know you do as well. That often, I don't know how I feel until I do that work, which seems crazy, but it's like, oh, that's what's there, because we wake up and there's so much chatter and noise in our minds. I read the figures the other day, thousands and thousands of thoughts a minute. And those thoughts produce feelings and emotions within us. And we're not always aware, we're not completely aware. So for me, the connection to what's going on inside me, writing is a perfect tool, because we can't, we write slower than we think. So it slows our minds down. So when we write, we kind of come a bit more to the present moment and a little less kind of, rushing through our mind. And so for me, that's really helpful.
I think that's a great tip. Definitely helps with the kind of scattering of our thoughts when they're kind of all over everywhere, to pin them down a little bit to the page. I definitely agree. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Caroline. I'm really excited about the program, and hopefully people can click on the link that I've got below to find out a bit more about it.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Salman. Thank you.